Hey, shaving creams and lifelong dreams. And in 3, Hi everybody, my name is Jon, and welcome to ADITW, a day in the Word, the internet's favorite Bible study. Today is a great day, because today is the beginning of a new era. We've tried studying short books on this show. We've tried studying medium-length books on this show. But today, we embark on the most epic journey ADITW has ever seen, as we begin studying a 28-chapter book. That's right, today we start Matthew! Honestly, I've just been wanting to do one of the Gospels for a really long time on this show, so I thought, why not start with the first one? Let's start! Let's read Matthew chapter 1, verses 1 through 17. Woo! What better, more exciting way to start off a new series than with a 17-verse genealogy? Yes. To be honest, most of the time when I read Matthew 1, I just sort of skip over all that stuff. But reading it over again now, something new sort of dawned on me that I had never really considered before. And that's that all the way back with Abraham, God was already working to bring Jesus into the world. You see, God's promise to Abraham to make his descendants so numerous not only applies to his physical offspring, but through that offspring, through that genealogy, through Jesus, God would bring everyone to be part of his family. Everyone's part of the descendancy. And when I look at this genealogy and I see almost all of my favorite biblical characters, you can almost begin to look at the Bible as the story of Jesus's ancestors. Not only does this help us to understand Jesus's life better, but it also helps us to understand all the stories before it. It helps us to understand that everything in the Bible is constantly pointing towards Christ. So I hope you didn't skip that part, because there's a lot to learn there. Let's move right on now and read verses 18 through 25. So a theme that I am continually finding in the scriptures is that oftentimes God will act counter to the ways of the world, or what natural wisdom says. The natural thing to do would have been for the Messiah to be born into a well-off, wealthy family. The natural thing to do would have been to raise up a king of the nations. The natural thing to do would have been for Joseph to leave Mary when he found out that she was pregnant. This is why it's so important that we constantly be seeking God in prayer, because it may be that God wants to do something absolutely amazing in our lives, but if we only lean on natural wisdom or what's normal or what the world says, we might just miss that amazing thing. The other thing that sticks out to me in this section is the incredible obedience of these two young people. If you think about it, Mary and Joseph must have been pretty weirded out when all this stuff was happening. And because of their youth and because of their low economic status, they probably had pretty much disqualified themselves from being used by God. However, I think something we can learn from this section is that it takes an obedient heart to usher in the presence of God. Oftentimes we think we need to be powerful or we need to be perfect, but in reality, God's already kind of got that power and perfection thing under wraps. The best thing that we can do to be used by God is be obedient, and God will take that obedience and he will use it to usher in his presence. It's not because Mary and Joseph were rich, it's not because they were smart, it's not because they were super religious. It's because Mary and Joseph were obedient to God that they were able to bring forth the light of the world. I wonder what light you could bring into the world today by being obedient to what God is calling you to do. What good could you bring? What prayer could you answer? It's not gonna be because you're the smartest. It's not gonna be because you're the most talented. It's not gonna be because you go to church the most. If you're gonna be used by God, it's gonna be because you made a conscious decision to be obedient whenever he calls. Thanks y'all so much for watching this episode of ADITW. I hope that you are as excited as I am that we are going through the Gospels, the greatest story ever told. I'm really pumped about it. My thought is that we'll do, because there's 28 weeks, we'll do 7 weeks of this, then we'll do like a Q&A break, then we'll do 7 more weeks, break, 7 more weeks, break, you get it? Just a little way to break it up for you. Also keep in mind that this Friday starts a brand new 7-minute sermon series. I am so excited about this 7-minute sermon series. We're gonna be tackling some issues that I know I deal with, and I think probably some of you deal with as well. I know it's going to bless someone. So I hope you tune in this Friday to watch. I hope y'all have a blessed week. I love you all so much. Keep being awesome.